Well, speaking of there being a lot of Santoses here tonight, this gentleman right here does have the same last name as me. He's so accomplished, just a young guy. He is a music producer. He has a #1 song in Portugal right now. And on top of that, for the last year, he's been a writer for Sports Illustrated. Can you imagine that? Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Santos!
Yes, Eric. Yeah.
Eric, it's great to see you.
Nice to see you again.
Well, you know what? I got a little secret here. We're going to get this out of the way right away. You go back to 2nd grade. My wife, Mrs. Santos, had Eric Santos in her class. And so I mentioned it to her. Yep.
I thought you were going to say I'm really your dad, but that's, I'm just saying, like, yes, the Tesla bag, yes, Paul, you.
Who's your vavoo? Who's your vavoo?
Who's your granddad, I should say. No, you're right.
No, but jokingly, right, I mentioned that to her. She's like, well, look at all those accomplishments. It all starts with that foundation in 2nd grade. You know what I'm saying?
She actually taught me the state song. So the reason I know my states is because she taught me all 50 states.
All right, how does it go at the beginning?
So I'm not really here to perform for you guys. I'm not a singer. I'm not a comedian. But I will give you a little. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California. You guys know the rest.
Wow, that's pretty good. So you can go through the whole thing, right, because of her. See about that? Yeah, you memorize it. Well, thank you very much. I find it so fascinating. You're a young guy. I mean, are you even 30 yet or early 30s?
I'm turning 25 this July.
Are you kidding me right now?
What? July what?
5th.
Get out of here! That's my birthday!
It is.
Guess what? I'm turning 27.
Yeah, right. Right, and actually I'm July 24th, so July,
Yeah,
that's
no
a...
one really-
that's a big, July's a big month. July's a...
too
Well, anyway,
distant.
I want to find out how you're able to, accomplish so much in such a short period of time.
Yeah. So I would say it really started back in 2018. And, I rolled out at Bridgewater State University as an English major. I always consider myself a writer at heart. And honestly, writing songs, it started as a joke. So I was like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if I wrote something and put out, for people to listen to? And next thing I know, my first song actually went #1 in Portugal. So, yeah, and I think I'm up to 5 #1 songs.
And you've had the #1 song in Portugal more than once.
Yeah, I think number 5, which seems a little bit low, but I think I'm actually top 25, top 50 in Portugal's history as far as getting #1 songs.
That's unbelievable. So how are you able to put together, I know you write a lot of it, put together this material that's going to be so popular in Portugal like that?
Yeah. So, of course, we're all from New Bedford here, I believe. I really consider this to be a slice of Portugal, New Bedford. We have the Portuguese feast. We have, all these Portuguese stores.
Feast. Yeah, that's right, baby.
Yeah, this is our territory. So, I put out my music, and it's got quite a following in Portugal, fortunately. My latest album, Iconic. So what I want to say is I actually have 3 songs I want to talk about really quick. I have one called Garfunkel McWedjet. That's actually my brother's nickname. And I wrote it based on a dream he had. He was visited by E.T. the alien. And it's a very crazy folk song. The second one, Salamander. It's based on my girlfriend. When she was a baby, her nickname was Salamander because she had very long legs. So it's a bit embarrassing, but I was able to make it into something, more inspiring. And the other one I have is actually called Power. And every family party, my dad plays a game called the Power Game. You're not going to be able to find it on Google. But essentially what he does is he goes around the room and he gives someone in the room the power. And you got to figure out how does he give someone the power. So I, got that idea. If you have the power, or if you think you have the power, then leave this room. Turned it into a song, and yeah, it's been doing pretty well over there.
Wow, amazing. Really interesting how you put this stuff together. And, you mentioned the girlfriend. There might be something in there that's embarrassing. But, if it goes all the way to #1,
Yeah, I mean, it might make it a little worse, because, so many people have heard it. But, yeah. But no, it's a good nickname, I think.
Right, now you don't sing yourself, but you write songs for other people. So it seems to me a hard business to crack into.
Yeah, I would say if you think about, for example, DJ Khaled, Marshmello, Zed, some kind of producers, DJs like that. That's really what I do. I do a majority of lyrical writing, and I kind of give my input of the musical direction I'm going to. Iconic's based mostly on Ed Sheeran and the Beatles, so I feel like that kind of music, that's really what Iconic's about. It's that musical inspiration.
Right, right. Now, to get into the business like that, a lot of people end up either going to New York or going to Los Angeles to make different contacts and stuff like that. How did you make the contacts to be able to climb the ladder like that?
Well, I got one right here.
Where?
Well, it's nice to have you here. We're always trying to put the spotlight on people that have had success, so it's very nice of you to say that. I know you've been on the show a number of times, right? Just like the third time, I think?
Yeah, I was also on Santos on Sports, Santos on Santos on Santos on Sports. But I do want to give a quick plug.
Yes.
So my first album, they all went number one in Portugal. It's called Eccentric. My second one's called Ruby. My third one, Iconic. So that's E-R-I. My first name's Eric. So I'd like to put out a fourth C album, hopefully. And I'm also doing a basketball podcast with my co-host who's here today, Isaiah Spencer.
Nice, nice.
Yep.
Hey.
It's called Barely Friends. And the reason why is because I went to Bridgewater State. He went to Brown University. They're both the Bear mascots. And also, I can barely stand them.
Well, you mentioned the sports podcast. We do Santos on Sports. My good friend Chris Santos. We have so much fun with it. We're so happy that you came on. But the thing is, you were able to write and get better at it and eventually become a writer for one of the great publications of all time in the world of sports, Sports Illustrated. And the kicker is you're assigned to the Boston Celtics. How did you pull that off?
So I actually emailed all 30 Sports Illustrated NBA affiliate sites. So, I went through the whole list. And initially, actually, 3 or 4 years ago, I was writing for the Houston Rockets SB Nation site. And that's because that was the only team that really accepted me. But now, I started this last year. I emailed all 30 teams, and I heard back from the Boston Celtics site. And that's my dream. I want to write for the Celtics. I think we got a great team going this year. I think we have the best chance to win the championship. And I promise I'm not biased. But
Oh, they do have a great team.
yeah.
My son Dylan worked at the Boston Garden for a period of time, so, when I go up there, he'd be down on the floor, and he'd say, hey, come on down. You see the parquet floor. Anybody who's a big fan, it's just so amazing to be down there, and you think of all the great players that played on that parquet floor. Well, you sent me a picture of yourself down there on the parquet floor, too, and I'm like, wow, that's great. Just the guy in his 20s, mid-20s, dream always to be a sports writer and to end up covering the Celtics and being down on that parquet floor. What was it like when you walked out there for the first time?
For me, it was crazy. It was like living a childhood dream. I've stepped on many basketball courts, the iconic Brooklyn Park. So, being on the Celtics floor for me was, amazing. And I got to see Jason Tatum really up close. And that guy is monstrous, as far as size. We see on TV, he looks a little bit like a tiny figure, but guy is crazy.
Yeah, when I was down on the side of the floor, some of those really, really tall players would be standing there, and I'm basically belt high with these people when I'm just standing there. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Yeah. It's amazing how tall these guys are. They're 7 feet tall, some of them, 6'7", 6'8". So when you see them close up, it's an amazing experience.
Definitely. I will say my favorite interview has been with Rick Barry, the Golden State Warriors legend, I would say. And he's got a lot of interesting thoughts. He's currently playing pickleball professionally. So, hopefully this summer I can also play pickleball and compete against an 80-year-old man.
Sounds good. So I know you have probably a list of things that you can answer this next question, and it would be accurate. But what's, say, the couple, 2 or 3 things that have been the biggest thrill so far in your career, both in music and in being a sports writer?
Yeah. I would definitely say that having my song reach #1 in Portugal. I am Portuguese. I grew up watching The Feast every single year and being around my culture. So being able to see my music, resonate with that group was amazing. I also recently had Ed Sheeran's musical page check out my newest album. So seeing that he's my inspiration for the album, for me that was a top moment. Just having him see it, that was amazing.
And what about the Celtics? Any big thing happen in a particular game or maybe a particular interview that you got?
I would say that if we win the championship this year, That'll be my top moment.
All right, what's the percentage? And a lot of people are saying, they get in the big game, they tend to cough up leads and all that, getting a little criticism there. What do you think the chances are of winning the whole thing? I mean, they got to get by the Joker, right? Jokic, who plays for Denver, a big monstrous guy. I mean, what are the chances of winning the whole thing?
I'm going to give them a solid 75%.
75%. All right, I like it.
Place your bets, everyone. Place your bets.
All right, before you go, anything in particular that you're working on, either for music now or for the magazine?
Well, I'm still thinking of ideas for my C album. Really with Iconic, I feel like I really sat down, took my time with this. The whole process took roughly 2 years. So, putting it out this December really meant a lot to me, all the creative songs. I'm also doing a master's degree right now, and I am also really a teacher. So all these things combined, work in my schedule, and hopefully another new album, and hopefully a championship ring.
Yeah, that'd be great. Now, did you slip in there? You slipped another accomplishment in there. You're a teacher?
Yeah, I actually teach in New Bedford. I teach ESL.
You teach what?
English as a second language.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Is that full time?
Yeah, it's full time.
How do you do that and do all this other stuff?
I don't know.
He's 25, that's how.
Wow, I'm amazed. Hey,
English is my only language.
Wow. Well, I'm amazed at what you've been able to accomplish, and you got so much of your life ahead of you. We're so proud of you. Not only the Santos name I really get a kick out of, the fact that you were in my wife's class, I get a kick out of that, but the fact that you're from New Bedford, you're so proud of your Portuguese heritage, you're willing to come back here and spend some time with us on the Paul Santos Live Show. We really, really think that's fantastic. Congratulations, good luck, and keep up the great work. Eric Santos, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here tonight. All right. At this time, I'm going to take the opportunity right now to thank our